Hello and welcome to the Biography Shorts. Here we are covering topics, but in the beginning the first section, which is basic introduction of Adolf, is the leader of Nazi Germany. Nazi stand for National Socialist German Workers' Party. Hitler was Chancellor of Germany from 1933 to 1945, and served as dictator from 1934 to 1945. His policies precipitated World War II and the Holocaust. Once he confirmed the alliance with Italy in the so-called Pact of Steel in May 1939, Hitler then signed a non-aggression pact with the Soviet Union. On September 1, 1939, Nazi troops invaded Poland, finally prompting Britain and France to declare war on Germany. Now into the next section, which is early life. Born Adolf Hitler was born on April 20, 1889 in Austria-Hungary. Dropped out of school after father died. After his father, Alois, retired as a state customs official, young Adolf spent most of his childhood in Linz, the capital of Upper Austria. Hitler had a normal education. As a young man, he showed no special talent. He wanted to study art, and moved to Vienna after his mother's death in hope of being accepted to art school, but was turned down for lack of talent. Rise to power. Served in the German army during World War I. In 1932, Hitler's Nazis reached a peak of 37% of the parliamentary vote, but Hitler's refusal to be part of a coalition led the party to shed 2 million votes in the year's final election. Adolf Hitler's rise to power. Adolf Hitler, April 20, 1889, April 30, 1945, was appointed Chancellor of Germany in 1933 following a series of electoral victories by the Nazi Party. He ruled absolutely until his death by suicide in April 1945. The initial victory in Europe would have been followed by the direct annexation of countries Hitler deemed suitably Nordic: Denmark, Norway, Sweden, and Finland, as well as the German-speaking region of Switzerland. Politics. Nazis. The Nazi Party was founded as the German Workers' Party by Anton Drexler, a Munich locksmith. In 1919, Hitler attended one of its meetings that year, and before long his energy and oratorical skills would enable him to take over the party, which was renamed National Socialist German Workers' Party in 1920. That year Hitler also formulated a 25-point program that became the permanent basis for the party. The program called for German abandonment of the Treaty of Versailles and for the expansion of German territory. These appeals for national aggrandizement were accompanied by a strident anti-Semitic rhetoric. The party's socialist orientation was basically a demagogic gambit designed to attract support from the working class. By 1921 Hitler had ousted the party's other leaders and taken over. The next section is the Holocaust. Had a long-standing hatred for Jewish people. So much. Final solution: genocide of Jews held in concentration camps. Jews were either labor or killed. Exterminated many non-Jewish peoples also. The Holocaust has a number of causes. Its direct cause is the fact that the Nazis wanted to exterminate the Jews and that they were able to do so. But their lust for murder didn't come out of nowhere. The anti-Semitic Nazi ideology must be considered in the broader context of the age-old hostility towards Jews, modern racism, and nationalism. Jews in Europe have been discriminated against and persecuted for hundreds of years, often for religious reasons. For a start, they were held responsible for the death of Christ. In the Middle Ages, they were often made to live outside the community and separate. At that point, the main goal of the Nazis was to remove the Jews from Germany by allowing them to emigrate. To encourage them to do so, they took away their livelihoods. Jews were no longer allowed to work in certain professions. The next section is World War II. Of September 1, 1939, Germany invaded Poland. Alliance with Italy, Japan. Axis power invades Russia and loses at Stalingrad. D-Day spells the end for Hitler. Hitler's invasion of Poland in September 1939 drove Great Britain and France to declare war on Germany, marking the beginning of World War II. Over the next 6 years, the conflict would take more lives and destroy more land and property around the globe than any previous war. World War II was the biggest and deadliest war in history, involving more than 30 countries. Sparked by the 1939 Nazi invasion of Poland, the war dragged on for 6 bloody years until the Allies defeated Nazi Germany and Japan in 1945. In the East, the war ended when Japan surrendered unconditionally on August 14, 1945. signing their surrender on September 2nd. The Japanese surrender occurred after the United States dropped atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki on August. Fun facts: Hitler actually helped design the Nazi flag. He became a practicing vegetarian, married Eva Braun while underground. Read a brief summary of this topic. Adolf Hitler, by name der Vorführer, German, the leader, born April 20, 1889, Braunheim, Austria, died April 30, 1945, Berlin, Germany, leader of the Nazi Party, from 1920-21, and Chancellor, and Vorführer of Germany, 1933–45. The 8-year-old Hitler took singing lessons, sang in the church choir, and even considered becoming a priest. He was deeply affected by the death of his younger brother Edmund. However, Sir Ralph was more enthused by the red telephone near Hitler's bed, noting red was his favorite color as he accepted the gift, much to the delight of the Soviet officer. He expanded the army tremendously, reintroduced conscription, and began developing a new air force. All violations of the Treaty of Versailles. Hitler's military spending and ambitious public works programs, including building a German autobahn, helped restore prosperity. In addition, he refused to pay income tax. He used his vast wealth, which some estimated was about $5 billion, to amass an extensive art collection, purchase fine furnishings, and acquire various properties. After the war, his estate was given to Bavaria. Hitler arrives at the Kralliper, the substitute Reichstag, Berlin, in Mercedes 1 AV 148,697, July 19, 1940. This is the car currently on display at the Canadian War Museum.